Okay, we're good to go. All right. As Terry stated, my name's Mark. I came into Cash FX in actually on the August the 29th. So I'm still relatively new to all of this. Terry sent me obviously the information that we've all seen, and again, something that seemed a little bit too good to be true, but it actually is true, and we're seeing that in the results. So, and it's not very often you can actually say that. So. For my background, just to let you all know, I have been a project manager for a long time now, almost 15 years in and around the Australian Defence Force and now with Boeing. And obviously, to a lot of this, I put my project management hat on, and you can never take those skills away. What I wanted to talk to you about tonight, and the reason Brian has come along, is because he is obviously a wealth of knowledge and far outweighs anything I could probably ever come up with. But a few of the discussions I've been having with people have been around how you can turn this into either a business or having a strategy to move forward with this. Now, before I get into some of the reasons and talk to you about what I'm finding, we all seem to utilize this idea that we're going to get to this 100K mark, and we want to get to the 100K mark. That's a fantastic goal, right? And once you get there, you're going to be pulling in quite a return. But have we actually thought beyond that point? So once you hit the 100K, it's really important to then realize that that's not the end of this game. We all know that you can only earn 200% of your contract amount in the bear and 200% in the bull. So Brian, please correct me if I'm wrong in any of this sort of stuff.
100%, Mark. Yep.
So one of the things you've got to think about is, okay, I get a 100,000K contract and I'm pulling in, if we work off 5%, 3,500 before you take your withdrawal fees out each week. Great return, fantastic return, but that's only going to last up to the cap of 200,000 if you're purely doing this on a passive income. So what happens then? So how do I start this journey again without going all the way back to the $300 mark and starting again? So you've just got to think about that. And that's one of the reasons I've brought Brian along tonight, is to also talk through how maybe some of his experiences, some of his people in his teams are dealing with that. Because let's say it's going to take, and I'm going to get Terry to share some slides for you in a second, but let's say it takes that 5-year mark of just doing purely passive income based on a 5% return. That's how long it's going to take you to get to the $100,000 contract, right? Once you're there, you are going to then either need to start again with another $100,000 contract or a $50,000 contract, if that's how you want to go. But no one in their right mind is going to drop back down to a $300, $400, $500 contract and start all that process again. To be honest with you, when you actually do the figures, it's about a $60,000 return on that $100,000 contract. Once you've taken into account that you have to have $100,000 to turn that over again, and then you start taking out your 20% fees to withdrawal. So even though you can earn $200,000, your actual cash in your pocket turns out to be about $60,000. Now, it's fantastic. No, if anyone thinks that's bad, honestly, my recommendation is you haven't looked enough at Cash FX and how good this is, because no bank is ever going to offer you that, right? But you want this to keep rolling. So for every 200,000 you're going to earn, you're going to put 100 back in if you want to stay at that $100,000 mark, and you're also going to pay your withdrawal fees. So you're looking at around that 50 to 60,000 cash in your pocket for a 5-year period. Hey, anyone on here wouldn't take that? I think you're on the wrong call. So what I wanted to talk to you about is how I've worked out a couple of scenarios of where we can get to that 100K a little bit quicker. Now, I will get Terry to share this, and I'll ask you in a second to share this, Terry, but I don't know about anyone here, but anyone who's had experience with sort of different types of, and we will call them MLM, or even crowdfunding, or even things like Avon and all of the above, right? We've all probably delved into one of these markets. The one thing I really struggle with is that previous things that I've had to deal with where we're not selling a product. Now, CashFX is a product. I don't want anyone to take that away. This is a product. This is something you're selling that is going to give you a return. But if you've been in something that I have and I've lost money and I've been really struggling with it, and this is where you hear the terminology of scam. Now, I want to put it out there. Scams are not scams all the time. In fact, the majority of the time, they're not actually scams. It's just that you follow the path of someone who can do something that you can't, right? And that thing for me is I am not going to be able to build a team of 1,000 people. That's not who I am, because I focus on selling the product, not selling me. And often what that means is, and excuse my French for anyone who gets offended, but I don't bullshit. I'm not going to sell you the genie in a lamp. I'm going to actually sell you what we can. And some people will be scared of it and some people won't be. So for me, in order to normally, what you see is you will have to be a traditional MLM marketer to make the business side of this work, which means bringing in tens, hundreds, thousands of people if you want to get to the very top and you want to get there quickly. Now, that's not me. I'm not going to be able to do that. But what I want to show you is hopefully people come along. It'd be nice if they do. I'm selling them a product, but I'm also going to give them the truth as well. But I don't have a massive following. That's not someone I am. People don't often like to relate to me because I will tell them the truth. Ask a lot of my staff who currently work for me. They don't always like what I have to say to them. But if you invite one person, and I'm going to show you the difference inviting one person can make, that is going to save you so much time in getting to that $100,000 mark with this business. So Terry, can I ask you just to possibly share your screen and just that first PDF, and I'll explain to people how I've gone through this. So for anyone who's on here and is currently a part of our CashFX winners circle, is it, Terry? Have I said that right? You may have seen this already that I have previously sent on the Facebook page. There it is. So when this comes up, I'm not going to take credit for this first slide. It is the one I've created, but the idea of it was from a group that I saw, and I thought it was fantastic. So I'm just going to explain this slide to you really quickly. Basically, this is your roadmap to getting from a $300 contract to a $100,000 contract with purely passive income, not inviting a single person. Now, I've based this on a 5% weekly profit. Now, may I just point out, I have been in this now since, as I said, August the 29th, and I am yet to see a 5% profit. Apart from the 2 weeks over Christmas when everything closed, it has always been higher than that. Now, prior to me coming on board, it was even higher than that. Now, I do want to point out that we always need to state that there are no guarantees here. You know, this is something, and the other thing I do wish to state is I am not a finance expert. I'm not a qualified financial analysis person, an accountant, anything like that. So this is purely opinionated and examples, okay? But you always have to make sure you give the warning of you can lose this money, but we're showing you the facts that from the beginning, I haven't seen 5%. I think 5.8, 5.9% has been the lowest I've seen. So these figures are actually lower than what you're actually getting. On the left-hand side there, under contract package, they are all the contract packages that you can purchase into. Oh, we just lost that there, Terry.
Sorry, where did it go? Just one second.
Just if you go up to your top there, I think it should be in.
This one, PowerPoint, there we are. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark.
Okay,
Yes.
no, that's okay. So there are your contracted packages on the left-hand side. Under the trading pool, that's the amount of dollars out of your contract package that is actually going to go into your trading pool. I'm pretty sure that everyone on here should be aware of that. And if you're not, talk to the person who invited you so you can go through this in a little bit more detail. Really important point here is the third column there, which is the amount of your commissions / profit / whatever your returns, whatever you want to call it, you need to upgrade to the next package. So let's use the top line, for example. You have a contract package of $300. You want to upgrade to the $500 package, you're going to need $200 plus the 20% withdrawal fee. Now, again, if you haven't heard about the withdrawal fee, please talk to the person or watch the videos again. Really important to understand that. And yes, for anyone who's asking, we can certainly share this information. So in order to upgrade, you're going to need $250. Now, again, if we're using a 5% weekly profit on your trading pool of $210 there, you will see you'll get a return of $10.50. So how long is that going to take you to get to that $250 required to upgrade to your $500 package? As you can see there, it's going to take you 24 weeks. And as you can see, you go down and down and down, and that tells you in order to upgrade to each package, how long that's going to take. Now, again, a cumulative total to get from the day you buy your $300 package to the day you actually upgrade to your $100,000 package, it is going to take you 265 weeks. If, again, and I want to say the disclaimer, if we're working on the 5% weekly profit. As that fluctuates, that figure will fluctuate a little bit, but we're doing a like-for-like comparison here. So 265 weeks, give or take, with the Christmas periods that we have over, say, a 5-year period. So you might want to add another 10 weeks to that, okay? 265 weeks, let's call it 5 years, just to be a nice round figure. It's about 5 years. If I can then show you what just inviting one person will do by, Terry, can we just go to the next slide, please? Hopefully it's just a scroll down. Yeah, perfect. So before I go into the depth of this, one of the things I did was, because I wasn't sure how successful I was going to be in recruiting people, and whether I actually even wanted to go down that track, that's another choice you have to make, was I actually bought myself a second account so I could benefit from this. So I bought myself another $300 package for my wife, in my wife's name, but in a way, this was us having the two packages. Now, what's the benefit to that? The reason being is that by having another package underneath you, you get the fast start bonus, okay? Now, there are many other little bonuses you get along the way, so this will reduce all of this information, but I just want to focus on the fast start bonus. Now, the parameters I'm using on this example are that the person you sign up or the account you open is going to do exactly the same as what you're going to do. They want to get to that $100,000 contract, and they're just going to base it on a passive income. So again, on the left-hand side, you can see the contract package, the trading pool, but also the fast start bonus you'll receive for each of those upgrades. Now, one of the things some of you will look at and go, oh, that doesn't look like, so let's just look at the $1,000 package there. The fast start bonus, it says $75. Now, the actual fast start bonus is $150 if you were to start there. But because you're only upgrading from the $500 to the $1,000 package, you get the fast start on the $500 difference. Okay, so really important for you to understand that these figures, that's why. So if you're going to show this to someone, please make sure that you're aware that that fast start bonus is about your upgrade of packages. Okay, let's get to the interesting stuff here. The middle column there, once you take the fast start bonus that you'll receive, off the amount you need to upgrade to the next package, you can already see that previously you wanted $250. Now you only need $205 in your commissions to upgrade to the next package. So straight away, as we go across that row, based on the same 5% weekly profit, we've reduced that time from 24 weeks down to 16 weeks. Okay, so you can see that there as Terry's gone between the two. So 24 weeks when you didn't have anyone underneath you, 16 weeks when you had one person. Now, whether that's you or whether that's one other person, that's one person. So same again, I'll let you in your own time look at this because Brian's time and everyone's time is important, but each package has been reduced. Now, just for that one person, what this means is when you upgrade from that $70,000 package to your $100,000 package, two things are going to happen. Number one, you have reduced the time it takes by 28 weeks by inviting one person. So that means that you've gone from, let's call it a nice round, 5 years to 4 years and 5 months. Now, you've either invited one person or you've put out another $300. But if you have put out another $300 like I have, then in 4.5 years, I will touch on my first $100,000 package. 7 months later, I'll have another one worth $100,000. So even if I then continue to turn that over, I've taken my original $600 and turned that into $120,000 income cash off those two things, off those two contracts, and I'm still rolling over with the new two packages that I've bought for $100,000. So think about that. Think about that. It's not bright lights that you're going to have your millions coming in, because at the end of the day, there's a contract in place. You have a date or a figure where that contract is going to end. However, if you think about this, $600 or $300 and inviting someone you know within 5 years has just got you $120,000 US in your back pocket. And that's after all the fees and your new contracts are in place. With one person. Imagine if it's two. Imagine if it's three. If that doesn't excite you, then I don't know what will. The other pointer here, look at that bottom line there. Because you've upgraded one of your packages from the 70,000 to 100,000, you get a $4,500 thing, little bonus in your skyrocket. And guess what? You don't have to spend it on anything. That's for you. Okay? So that's all you have to do. So that is my example. Now, I've spent a little bit of time thinking about this, and I don't know a lot about Cash FX, right? I am not going to say I'm a master of this. I know nothing compared to Terry and the man who will speak to us about some other strategies, I'm sure. But that excited the absolute bejesus out of me just by thinking, wow, I invited one person, or I didn't. I invited myself. So that's not such a bad way of thinking. So if you are a person who says, oh, I've got a brother, I've got a sister, I've got a mum, I've got a dad, I've got a cousin, I've got a mate who might be interested in this, or one of my my team have actually gone in again with another package with a friend of theirs. So you might want to just throw in $150 each and have a crack at it. But believe me, I know on a good night out with a few friends, you spend a hell of a lot more than $150, right? So think about it. It's not a difficult thing to do. The more you invite, the better. But I am not a person who's going to have a team of 1,000 people. I would prefer to have a team of 5 or 6 good people who I know will benefit out of this. And I'm not going to lie, it'll make me feel good that I've helped people along the way who I love and adore and trust, and some of those people are on this call now. So, Terry, I am more than happy for you to send this to everyone who's on this call. We can put it up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, we will.
And please, any questions, I'm always open to anyone coming to me. I can help you set this up in an Excel spreadsheet. And honestly, you've got great people around you, and I'm now going to shut up and pass on to Brian, because this is where I want to listen as well. So over to you, Terry and Brian. Thank you for that time, and hopefully we can get some other strategies around this.
Wonderful. And if I can just say one thing, Mark, that was great. Thank you so much. That was really, really good. And what I'm going to do, this is recording, so this will go onto the Cash FX Winner Circle page. Now, one of my sons, just quickly, was always very skeptical and everything. And he came back to me yesterday and he said, Mum, I'm seeing what you're earning. Is that really right? And so what I did, I sent him an invite to our Cash FX Winner Circle, because I said, have a look at what the other members of the team are saying. Okay, so I said, it's not just Mum and Dennis, my husband. And I said, look at that. And he's looked at what the Cash FX Winner Circles said with everything we're sharing. And this will be one thing, Mark, that we're going to share. So guys, if you want to get anybody interested, send them the link to the page and kind of go, just have a look at what the other members of the group are saying and what's happening to them. So Mark, I'll be quiet now and Brian's going to talk, but I just want to thank you. And I just want to say to everybody, invite them to the page. They don't have to be members. They just have to be potential people, and say, come and have a look at what we're doing. We are the most amazing supportive group. I love everybody, and yeah, so that's great. So I'm going to mute myself, and Brian, over to you.
Thank you, Terry, and good evening, everybody. It's early morning here in the UK, and I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much. Welcome the guys from Vanuatu as well, my buddies that I met over in JT Fox a couple of years ago. So it's great to see them here. Mark, great presentation. I think, you know, the clarity that you bring to that, and I would just like to pull you up on one thing. Never say you won't have a team of 1,000 people, because you just don't know when you get a Brian Chittick or a Terry in your team, and you don't know who introduces those people. So, you know, I've been around this industry for 35 plus years, and truthfully, I'll be 12 months in the business on the 9th of February, and already the team has passed 6,000 people. And I've never, ever had that amount of people in any network in 35 years. So, you know, never say never. And the reason for that, there's a number of reasons. You know, I think what you're saying there about the pensions and the super, that's a global issue that really people are waking up to and maybe starting to realize. And I would like to just talk a few minutes about where we are socially, economically, the whole COVID environment, because look, it's reality everywhere and people are having to adjust. I think one of the biggest challenges right now is mentally, because really people are really struggling mentally with this whole thing. You know, it's not normal that we're not social. I had a friend of mine here yesterday, his 3 daughters, 15, 19 and 21. They're in the house all the time. That ain't normal. And it's putting pressure on families, it's putting pressure on people. They're becoming more withdrawn, you know, and people are really, really struggling. And, you know, if we look at what we have here with Cash FX, I mean, it really is a blessing and an absolute revelation for everyone, because we can help people. You know, one of the things I think really we need to wake up to is, and I'll very happily share this with everyone. I read a book about 4 or 5 years ago called Surfing the Technology Tsunami. And in that book, it was talking about technology, AI, you know, the decimation of the workplace, etc. And they were talking then that between 2020 and 2030, we would lose 120 million jobs, businesses, and professions just in the UK and the US alone, right? Now, there's a book out now, and I haven't read it yet, by Klaus Schwab, who's the head of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and that book is called The Fourth Industrial Revolution. And guys, we have to wake up here. You know, I mean, Amazon have stated clearly in the next 3 years, the only staff they will need will be drivers. And those will be outsourced. So effectively, they'll not need any employment. Now, you think of that in the employment sector and in the workplace, in the marketplace, and especially for the young people and people that have, you know, spent a lot of money, time studying, going to university, etc. What future is there for those people? So the whole dynamics of the work and employment and earning is changing. And of course, with the World Economic Forum plan is that we get a universal basic wage and people sit at home and eat nachos and watch Netflix, you know. So I ain't one of those people. And I'm quite sure most of us here have more ambition and desire to sit and do that or let our children do that. And you know, the example that you've shown there with one person and one sign up, realistically, globally, people are sitting with their pensions, their ISAs, their savings, etc., and the banks are giving you virtually zero. In fact, if you factor in inflation, your money's actually costing you money in the banks. And you know, for people who are looking at this passively, people that are looking at this passively are looking for income. And realistically, people may have some assets, they may have some savings, etc., which is not making them anything. And genuinely, as much as I have absolute total conviction and belief in Cash FX, it would be folly to recommend anybody to ever put all their eggs in one basket. And what I mean by that is it's vital that you diversify and maybe diversify that income or your savings. And if I'm talking to people personally about just passively who are not interested in recruiting or building a team, I would actually be looking to start them off at the 3K level. And a lot of people have that sort of money in savings. Certainly start them at 300, let them get confident for a week or two till they see the income coming in. Because as you rightly said, Mark, you know, it sounds too good to be true. And, you know, my retort to that is always, is that a good enough reason not to look? Because, you know, I didn't look at this properly at the beginning. I turned it down, and it wasn't because I thought it looked too good to be true. I didn't look at it properly. And you can only make an informed decision when you have the information. So, you know, that will accelerate your growth dramatically. And in addition to that, if you do it the way that we, you know, the ethos that we have kind of built in the team is that we show people how to do the family pack. Because, you know, if somebody came to me and said, I want 10 grand, I would say, no, put in 1,000 and sign up your wife, partner, spouse for 3, and maybe your daughter or your son for 3,000. And just to give you an idea, by the way, we're talking 5 years here for somebody with 300 to go to 100,000 account. If somebody started with 10,000 US dollars and they'd done a family pack with no recruitment whatsoever other than your 3 family members, in just under 2 years, you would have 4 100,000 accounts. Now, and you're quite right, Mark, and what you said about it is a contract. So you have to manage those accounts to make sure that you're not biting off the hand that feeds. And unfortunately, what has happened with a few people in Cash FX, and this is it's kind of the lottery winning syndrome, where, you know, people have maybe got up to bigger amounts and they're not used with that sort of money, and they just spend. It's very easy to withdraw your money every week and just spend it, but you have to manage this. And if you manage this properly, you definitely don't want to bite off the hand that feeds. So, you know, again, working on the minimums, the minimum level that I've seen in almost 12 months was 5.11%. But it's typically been, you know, 5.5, 5.86. And by the way, that will move up as we move forward in phase 2 within the business, which we're kind of in that transition period right now. Waskar and the team are working literally 18, 19 hours a day. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes. But as we, move into 2021, there's almost a 12th of it gone already. We have got something really unique here that we can offer people. And for $300, can you afford not to try it? I kind of try and reverse engineer things, because I think we've got probably the most compelling opportunity online right now. In 35 years in this industry, I've never been involved with any network where there's no monthly fees, product charges, buying stock. I've never been in any network where 100% of people who join make money in week one. And, the caliber of people that we're attracting into this business is incredible. We've actually just recently, and I'm working very, very closely with a guy in the UK who is a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire. And the lady that spoke to him about the business wasn't going to speak to him. And he asked her what she was doing, and she just mentioned CFX, and he said, "Oh, that sounds really interesting. Tell me more." And he has now got a mission to actually mentor 1 million people globally and help them create financial freedom. So you just never know who you are talking to. And the one thing we must never, ever do is prejudge. You do not deserve the right to make a decision about this opportunity to anyone else. And that's the way I look at it, because especially with your family members, and maybe you've had a few bad experiences in the past, or tried other networks and it didn't work out the same. I believe the only time we're beaten is when we don't get up. And certainly, I've kept going to this stage. Thanks, Dave. I've kept going to this stage because, if you keep going, you can't keep sowing seeds and not getting a good crop. And for the doubters and the people that are kind of skeptical, CashFX, the business model and the way this business has been set up, they've a 20-year goal plan here. And we really have, as I say, something totally unique. There's about 170,000 people globally involved with the business right now. Anybody who heard John Kinnear's training a few weeks back will have heard him saying that, we will at some point close the membership here, because right now we're transitioning to move into phase 2, and phase 2 will see us develop the product in full, which will be the academy modules. You're quite right again, Mark, and what you said. We are selling a product, or we're sharing. So regardless of whether people wish to learn the Forex industry, we're going to end up here with a world-class product that will be in digital video format, that effectively is an open university on Forex, that will be the first government accredited product for the Forex industry. So, when you look at, as I say, what's happening globally, I believe everybody should have at least a $300 account, and then let them see how it builds from there. I've just been in Lithuania there, away getting a full knee replacement. And, it was, I'm in recovery right now, and it's going to be great to get quality of life back again. But, to have a business that just kept growing and makes money, regardless of whether I'm active in the business or not, that really is the holy grail. And a lot of people can't get their head around the network marketing, and, they think, oh, it's one of those pyramid things. If somebody said that to me, I say, absolutely. Yeah, the big difference with our pyramid is it's an inverted pyramid, that there's room at the top for everyone. And, whoever wants to get there, you can do it, and you can achieve it. And the thing is, in this business, you will achieve it so much quicker than any other network or opportunity I've ever seen. So, we're putting on trainings. We've got meetings every day. Obviously, we want to support you guys there, and there's different time zones, but the backup and support from the company here is absolutely superb. And if anybody hasn't listened to an interview which I did last Saturday morning with Stefan Lump, who's a personal friend, lives in Germany. And Stefan, it just shows you how this business and the wheel of fortune can turn your favor. Stefan joined this business in November 19 when I turned it down. He signed up for a $1,000 contract, never did anything else. In May last year, 2020, his sponsor, who's our sponsor, said, look, you better have a look. Your contract's coming up for renewal and 200%. And when he had a look, lo and behold, our entire team were in his matrix. And, you know, this is just how the matrix can happen. Sorry, yeah, Mark, I'll pass the recording to you. I'll put the link up here before we finish. But, you know, Stefan spent 9 days in November with Waskar, Ron Pope, Edwin, Justin, Luigi, Martin Arena, 9 days socially in the Dominican Republic in the top hotel there. And, you know, it was just very, very, I didn't need the reassurance. I mean, I'm bulletproof on this business and where we're going and the company goals and mission, etc. But for people who have any doubt, you know, Stefan really said the integrity of the owners. And, you know, when you're with someone for 9 days, they can put on a facade on a call, or anybody can think, oh, yeah, this is great. But you get to see the real person over a 9-day social interactive period. So I would urge everyone to listen to that interview. Terry, maybe you want to put it up in the Facebook group. I know it's in the Cash FX.
Absolutely, I will. I'll put it up in the Cash FX group for sure.
Yeah, and really, you know, the testimonials and the stories. It's stories that sell this business. You know, you come from a different background. We've all got eclectic. It's the eclectic skill sets here, Mark, that actually make the team and make the difference. You know, we've got people on here who are coaches, who are experts, one field, the other. And if we collectively use those skill sets to help everybody else, believe me, we will have an absolutely amazing team. And, you know, Cash FX, all I can say is, you know, the opportunity that we've got to change people's lives and save lives right now, it's saving people's sanity. One of my guys that hit manager there last month, he had a really, really tough year last year, lost his wife, parted with his wife, lost his house, lost his mother, and, you know, things really weren't too good at all. And he said if it hadn't been for Cash FX, he said he doesn't know where he would be mentally or anywhere else. So it really, really is. I think it's incumbent on us to share this with other people. And very quickly, I would like to, Terry, can you give me screen share for a moment at all, please?
Yes, just for a moment.
Let me just let's see. I've got all our notes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share.
So you're the host now.
Oh, thank you, Terry.
Okay. You can share.
And look, I appreciate the time here, but yeah, I'm going to stop your sharing. Okay. This is a graph which shows what Mark was talking about, and it's a nice little graph that shows you the road from 300 to 100K, which again I'll share with the group. I only got this a couple of days ago, and again, it just lets people see visually, because when you can see something visually, you can actually maybe bring the reality to that goal. So it's a nice little graphic to show what can be done. What I also want to share now is a website that Stefan, one of Stefan's team, because he's now building the business, having realized the power and the integrity of the opportunity. So I'm going to share with you here. One of his guys, oh, sorry, I don't want to log in. Excuse me. For anybody who's familiar with the John Kinnear videos, which is really the basis of what we're using to share the opportunity, Stefan's guy has put together a personalized website. As you can see here, here's my name with the 2 videos. He doesn't go into the recruiting video here, but the 2 videos are on the website. So you got the first one, in fact, maybe because some people may not have seen this, I'm going to actually play this if you don't mind. It's only a couple of minutes. So let me play this to start with. Okay.
At this time of unprecedented worry and anxiety, driven by a single virus, baffling the brightest minds in science, there are lessons that we can take from this global pandemic. We are all equal, regardless of our culture, religion, occupation, financial situation, or social status. It is reminding us that we're all connected, and something that affects one person affects another. It is also reminding us just how important family and home are, how providing for those we love is of critical importance, especially in times of crisis, and how difficult or even impossible that can become under certain circumstances. The world we know is going to change. There's no escaping that fact. One thing still in your control, what you do with your time. There's a tiny percentage of people globally that are completely free of debt, not beholden to anyone. And as incredible as that may sound, anyone can accomplish a similar degree of this success. With proper guidance, you can attain the same freedom and the same peace of mind to enjoy family and friends, regardless of what may be happening in the world around you. While real financial security is available to everyone, it doesn't happen on its own, and it's not easy, but it is absolutely possible for you. To learn what steps you can take today, and to make sure that you're numbered amongst those that are financially free, get back to the person that shared this video with you and take action today.
All right. Hang on, I just need to move that. Okay, so the website, that's the first little video. And then, there's information here. Welcome to my CashFX. Start now. What is CashFX? And then we have the second video, that people can watch. And then there's a few, not all of the plans are here. This is quite a condensed, neat little site, but it's personalized. It also has your link embedded so that if people want to start now, you can actually register them. They register with your link. There's a simulator on here that you can have, a bit like the accelerator on the CFX Success from Home site. And again, it talks here a little bit about the copy trading launching soon. And then you've got your contact details and people can message you or email you. Now, in addition to that, there's a back office to this. And the back office is, if I go to log in, sorry, bear with me 1 second. And the back office will be updated on a regular basis. So you've got my PDFs. So there's, quick guide on the business presentation. Admittedly, because Stefan's German, he's got most of this in German or English. But it will be added to. You've then got my images. So there's, templates that you can use here, logos, et cetera, for any marketing that you wish to do. Then you have my videos, and there's a lot of good videos there. We're all equal, leverage, marketing tool, business presentation. And then you've also got, where the webinars, and then you can order the website. Now, for €99 one-off payment with no monthly fees, I personally believe that that is an amazing tool because it looks professional. And, Terry, we'll cover this again more on the training on Sunday. But I believe, and Mark, for somebody like yourself as well, who may not feel comfortable about the team growing, etc. This is a really, really easy tool to introduce people, because if I ring you up and I say, hi, Mark, how's the weather? How's the dog, the cat? It's very easy to talk about how are people coping in the current situation. And then you say, look, would you be open to looking at an opportunity? And if they say, yes, what's that about? Or tell me more. you tell them very little. You say, look, I'm going to send you a link. There's a couple of videos on there, 10 minutes. And when can you watch that? You know, can you watch it now? Do you have time now? And then say, right, okay, I'm going to send it to you. Have a look at the videos and I'll phone you back in 20 minutes. And like anything else, the fortune is in the follow-up. And realistically, I mean, this idea of just sending people things blind or links or videos, etc., it doesn't work. You know, and people are too busy today. You know, this is one of the reasons why emails very rarely get looked at. So it's about being just a little bit personal about this. And if you use this to get 3 people, and if it took a month to get 3 people, just think what that would do to your chart earlier, Mark. But it really, really can make a huge difference. And if everybody took a month to get 3 people, you would fill your matrix down to level 7 in 6 months. And when you fill the matrix to level 7, it only takes those people to get to a 7K contract to withdraw $1,000 a month. And when they're withdrawing $1,000 a month, I'm going to show you this because this might just let people really see the power of the matrix. Okay, I'm going to wrap up on this because I know time-wise we've kept everybody for quite some time. But
can I just say for a sec, Mark? I think you have to go. Mark's got to go and put his kids to bed. So do you want to say goodbye, Mark?
I've got to hop off and I do apologise, Brian. I will watch the rest of this recording at a later date, and I really appreciate everyone's time and effort. So thank you.
Mark,
my pleasure.
thank you.
And, yeah, nice to meet you, Mark. Great job. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, love.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Bye, Mark.
Bye.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap up on this illustration of the matrix. Okay. So if, let's say, the matrix, which for those who don't understand it, please acquaint yourself and go and listen to the presentations or come on our calls. But the matrix is a forced matrix. We have no control of it. It is basically determined by the date and time that anybody joins the business. So if you follow the 3, you know, if we use that little video and the system to get your 3 people in 1 month, and help them to do the same. In 6 months, you will actually be at level 7 in your matrix. Now, let's be honest, it's never going to happen exactly like that, but I'm just showing you here for illustration purposes. So assuming that everybody only gets to level 7 in the matrix, which is the most powerful level, and you must have a 10K contract to qualify for level 7, okay? So that's where we want to aspire to get to. But if you're building a team, it won't take you long to get there. So on level 1, and this is just with a 1,000 withdrawal per month, you would earn $9. Whoopie-doo, might buy you a burger or Burger King. Level 2, $27. Okay. Level 3, we're now getting up to a little more significant figures. Level 4, you know, we're now looking at maybe a car payment per month, etc. Level 5 is certainly a part-time income or maybe more. Level 6 is probably double or treble a good salary. And level 7 is probably double what most people earn in a year or thereabouts. So just on level 7 alone in your matrix with $1,000 a month withdrawal, your matrix payment would be 75 grand a month. That's ludicrous, guys. And that's totally sustainable because that comes out of the 20% withdrawal fee. Don't forget the company don't get any of this. And this is where, you know, Stefan, and you know, fair play to him. I'm delighted for him because he's a lovely guy and we all deserve a break. And you just don't know who comes into your matrix that could end up going like Terry or me or anybody else in the business. And effectively,
Brian, can I just say also too, for anyone who's maybe a little bit new, what you're talking about, those matrix bonuses are totally in addition to our fast start bonuses and our new uni level bonuses. So
Correct.
we
Yeah.
get our commissions from our trading contract, which is the passive. We also get a fast start bonus from anybody that we immediately refer to the business. Then we get a uni level bonus from our whole team, plus the one that you're talking about, which is the matrix. So there's
absolutely
our trading contract plus another 3 avenues for bonuses.
Exactly. So, I mean, you know, we've actually got, well, there's 5 revenue streams that's open to everybody in CashFX. There is another one, but it's only available at the top levels. So, you know, I mean, obviously that's
next month.
It's what?
Next month.
Well, yeah, maybe. I'm just looking for the link here to Stefan's call. Bear with me 1 second, please. And I will I'll get that here now. Yeah, I'm just going to post it up on the chat, the link to the call.
Good. Yep, and I'll put that on the on our winner circle page as well, because I know there's quite a few that couldn't make it tonight and they're waiting for the recording, so that will be great. And I'll repost that link to Stefan's call.
Yep, bear with me here a wee second, Terry. I'm just looking for it in my WhatsApp links here. So excuse me 1 wee second. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why is it when you go to look for something you can't find it?
I know. And while you're looking, I just want to say it's wonderful. We've got more than 24 people on the call tonight and a lot waiting for the recording. So I just think it's a really exciting year, honestly, truly. We have a wonderful group, a wonderful supportive group. We've got leaders stepping up now to run the Zoom calls. It just doesn't have to be all on me because everybody has knowledge, and how grateful to Brian to be able to share what he's got. So I love you all for being on.
Yeah, I think, Terry, while I'm waiting here, perhaps if you want to open it up and ask anybody if they wish to.
Okay, yeah, that's
if
good.
there's any
so how
questions.
about anyone who's got questions, please just unmute yourself. We've got a wealth of information in Brian. This is the time to ask those questions. So, you know, we're not in a rush. So please open up, ask any questions. So Roy, I see you've opened that. You got a question.
Yeah, sorry, Terry, if I'm a bit late. I realised that it was on, nearly forgot. This is for Brian, just wanting to know, and we can take any contract, doesn't matter, but I'll just work on the 300. If you build up on the bear side, sponsoring 3 who get 3, once you get good commissions coming in, if people brought in, say, 3 people in the first month and that was repeated, the commission structure on the other side is quite substantial. So does that mean that you end up fulfilling the contract quicker by repurchasing with your commissions?
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very good point, Roy, because obviously if you, you know, if you're starting, I mean, when we started the business, I started with a $300 contract. And, you know, at the start, we started to recruit fairly quickly. And I said to Roy, this is crazy. I'm just working to buy contracts here. I can't take any money out because we were having to upgrade. And you know, if you're building quickly and you start on a $300 contract, that is the case because you're getting to the 200% pretty quickly. And ideally, you don't want to, you know, bust the contract. It's okay maybe, you know, on the lower contracts, but if you get the like a 20 grand contract and you go to 200%, this is what I was talking earlier about managing your account. You then need to go in with 20 grand again. So, you know, you do need to be putting some of the money aside, etc. But ideally, yeah, you don't want to be going to 200%, but it will accelerate the bull quite substantially. So, yeah, absolutely. Good question.
So in the top of the range, the 100,000 level, you can't upgrade there. So obviously, if you've got a good team going and you're getting good commissions coming back on the other side, then when you go to not upgrade, but renew that 100,000, the commission perhaps on the other side might be well in excess of that, might be 300. So does that mean that contract could easily be renewed and expire and renewed again in a short period of time?
Yeah, I mean, if you take Justin and Luigi, for example, they're renewing their 100K contract about every 3 days,
Yes.
3 or 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if somebody's building the business and you have a 100K contract, you'll likely find that you will get somewhere in around 340 to 350%, because obviously the bear and the bull, you'll get 200% on the bull quicker,
Yes.
but the bear you'll end up still getting in around 150%. So each 100K
that's the 3
contract,
by 15 on the other side of the fence, isn't it? When you take the
Yeah.
money out, yeah, okay.
yeah, absolutely. So, but that's a good point, and I mean, it is something that you want to manage if you're starting to grow the business.
Well, you'd
We
have to
will
keep an eye on it, that's for sure.
Yeah, we will cover stuff like that on our training. And I mean, I know we've quite a different time zone with some of you guys that are maybe 12 hours ahead here, etc. But we do a training on a Sunday at 12 o'clock UK time. And everybody's welcome, and you're welcome to bring your people along to that. And of course, you have...
Brian, can I just say, Roy also said he's going to start up some for us on an Aussie time.
Yeah,
So
I think we'll look to do that.
We're looking to do it
Absolutely.
at a time that, because we've got so many in our group now, that and even the New Zealand people are only 3 hours ahead, so that's not too bad. But Roy said he will start Aussie ones, which is really good. So everybody keep tuned for that. So instead of, like, I know it's hard to stay up at night sometimes, and so I know Roy said he was going to start that in our time. Brian, I've just got one question here. Somebody said, so at that stage, you just let it cap out. I'm not quite sure. Sam, do you mean at what stage?
Yeah, so when you're in 100K, you just let the contract expire. So when it gets there, and then you do a withdrawal once the contract expires, draw the money out and rebuy. Is that correct?
So Brian, Brian? Can you hear what
yeah,
Sam?
Well,
yeah.
Again, and good point, Sam. Again, in keeping with Wascar's whole mission here to help people get financial freedom, and what they realized is that some people are literally forcing to get to the 100K without taking any money out. And when you get to the 100K, you've used most of the money to upgrade. Okay. So what they decided to do was to allow people at that point to reset, because bearing in mind that if you're building a business at all, you cannot go in. If you go to 200%, you can't go in and buy a lesser contract than what you had previously. So if you're on a 20K contract and you go to 200%, you must start with a 20K contract again. So when you go to 100K, it used to be that you had to replace that with a 100K contract, which could have been a big struggle for a lot of people, bearing in mind that, when you take out the 20% fee, you have 125 grand to be sitting there with. So what he did, they made it that you could reset when you get to the 100K and actually start again with a 50K or a 70K contract, so that you can put money in your pocket. So literally then everything goes back to zero, both on the bear and the bull at that point. Does that cover the point, Sam, or was that what you were?
The smart money would be to let it get to the 200K, potentially more. But if it was just on one, you'd let it get to 200K, take the 20% withdrawal fee, and then you're left with 60K profit after you reinvest. Is that not correct?
Right. Got you. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a net 60K, Sam, that everybody makes. Okay. If you were to net that, if you just let your contract go to 200% and then made a withdrawal, you would end up with a net 60%, because you get your return of capital and then your profit, which would 60%. And that's a very good point, actually, because, again, if you get finance people or some people who are not familiar, that the sort of returns we're getting, the return we're getting includes return of capital. So when you look at how cash rich Cash FX are. Every time, you know, let's say they have 100,000 members who buy a $1,000 contract, that's $100 million they've brought in. When they pay out double, right, that $100 million they have left as a cash asset. So the company actually need to make very, very little money to sustain what we're doing. But it's very, very clever. And, you know, so hopefully that helps. Yep.
Okay, but you're saying most people that get to 100K are potentially getting to 300% with the bear and the bull. Is that fair to say?
Yes, you're going to get in around 340 to 350 before you have to renew the contract, Sam. Yep.
Okay, so you take 60 out, you're left with 240. You pay 100 back in, left with 140 change. Is that fair to say?
It's not bad, is it?
It's not bad.
Better than
Not
a bank.
Guys, just so you know, I've put the link. Sorry, I actually put the wrong link when I put the first message up about Stefan's interview in the chat. That's the 99 euro website, but the last message there is the link to Stefan's interview, and maybe Terry will put that up in the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But I
will.
would
Yeah,
thoroughly
absolutely.
recommend. Yeah, it's about 50 minutes long, but I would thoroughly recommend you listen to that, because honestly, it'll just cement your belief and your confidence in the business. And he's really such a sound guy as well. So and here's an interesting one. At the end of the recording, Stefan, there's a 20-year-old that he's working with, very positive thinking young guy. He's got a 10K contract, and I think he's executive level, and he only started the business in September, 20 years of age. And that's the generation we want to get to here. So we're giving people hope, and we can develop them here as well, you know. So I think that's pretty much me wrapped up, unless anybody wants to ask any other questions.
One last, international sponsoring. Who can we bring in? Americans, Canadians?
Not Americans at this moment in time, Roy, but virtually, I mean, there's, I don't know, about 200 odd countries that we're in presently. And there's great support groups. I mean, I've got groups in Africa and Europe and different countries all over the world. So US is not available right now. North Korea. There's a few countries, you'll see it on the list there, but you can sponsor internationally. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And if I can just say, this Cash FX Winners Circle group that all you guys belong to, as I said before, if you want to invite a prospect to that group, totally fine, because we have so many links to so many amazing stuff. And just repeating what I said, my son, one of my sons, so skeptical, and I put him into this group, and all he did was just read what other people have done, and he went, all right, Mum, I'm convinced. You know, so it's so easy. We don't have to sell it. You know, we just don't have to sell it. All we have to say is, okay, just look what other people are saying. What are you doing with your $300? What are you getting on it? What return are you getting? Take baby steps and see what happens. It's so easy. It's not hard, is it, Brian?
Okay, yeah, it's not hard, no. And if you keep it simple, it really is. Just keep it simple, and all we're doing is sharing. We're not selling.
Exactly.
You know, and if you have that, like we have a lady there just come into the business through the billionaire guy, and she's only in the business 12 days, and already she's got 30 people in her team. And her mission is just to give people hope, you know, the unemployment, the stress that people are under, and she's just getting them in. So, by the way, that graph that I put up earlier, I've included the WhatsApp image, you know, the little chart with the 300 to
okay, that's good. I'll save that and I'll put that on our site. Yeah.
If anybody isn't, just quickly, if anybody isn't aware, you can save the chat by clicking, if you go to the chat on the screen, and at the bottom where you would type your message, there's 3 little dots. If you click on the 3 little dots, you can actually save the chat to your PC, and then you get all the links and everything else. So that allows you to save that. But great call, guys.
You're talking, just one moment. You're talking about the WhatsApp group?
No, I'm talking about
What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about this image that I put up earlier.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Thank you. That's wonderful.
I've actually just attached that on the link there. Okay.
Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So everybody, we all okay? No burning
I've got a question, Terry, before you go. So
Okay.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Brian. The question is, now this Zoom meeting, I didn't get a link tonight, so I had Paul sent me the Zoom link. I was looking at Facebook and I couldn't find any link, and on my email there was no Zoom link for tonight. So,
okay. Okay, Monica, can I just answer that? Yes. I actually accepted you into the Facebook Cash FX Winners Circle group.
Yep, okay. I saw that this afternoon. Yep.
So all you need to do is go to that group, because I always put the Zoom link on that.
I didn't see any.
Yeah, there's heap. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. So if you go to that group, definitely in it. And I know Vicky was at my place, weren't you, Vicky? Yeah. Yep. The link was there. So you just need to go to that, love, and I put it in twice today.
Right. So is it on the presentation or something, or it just says Zoom link?
It's on the discussion. It's if you go to discussion, and there's a whole post of discussions, and I put the link twice on that one.
Yeah. I'm just not familiar with Facebook at all, but I did see that you let me in today.
Okay.
So I was looking and I couldn't see any Zoom link, and that's why I contacted Paul.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if you have a meeting or not.
Monica, you just need to go to the Facebook. Facebook Cash CFX Winners Circle group, and I put all the links on that, because obviously I can't talk to everybody individually.
Oh no, of course not.
Everything I can think of that I think will benefit our whole group, which is quite big now, I put every link on that, love. So just keep tapping into it every couple of days, and this recording will be on that as well. And then next week, the link for the Zoom call will be on that too.
On the Facebook. Cool.
On the Facebook. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, guys. Brilliant. Yeah.
Cool.
Any other questions before we wrap up?
Everybody okay? Yep.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, that was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
You can go and have a good day now.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. And we'll look forward to catching you again very soon.
Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.